Hey Renette, it's Aaron, your personal driver, and today we're going to have to talk about Seattle, the TNC union, and all the news that's going on. If I'm being honest, I'm not really looking forward to making this video. I've been avoiding making this video, but there's been so much written about it and so much drama surrounding it that I'm going to have to set things straight. So honestly, this isn't going to be very much fun. This is going to be a lot of basic information, and as you can tell, I am a little sick. My voice is a little hoarse. That's why I haven't been doing YouTube videos recently. My eyes are super red. I think it has to do with the changing of the seasons, but I'm going to do the best I can. So we're going to have to start with the actual players, okay? So obviously there's Uber and Lyft to some extent, but mainly Uber. Like, this union is mostly about Uber. I mean, Lyft is there, but it's not really gonna affect anything. They don't have that much influence as Uber. They don't have the resources to fight something like this like Uber. Like, this is a story about Uber in the city of Seattle. The other player is the city council. They voted to pass an ordinance allowing TNC drivers to form a union. Then there's the Teamsters. They are a cab union in Seattle, and they have been basically given the contract to represent TNC drivers should they decide to unionize. The other player here is, I'm just gonna call them the fake union. Uber has fronted basically a driver group and pretended that this group represents drivers' interests. And right away you can tell a group like this is fake because they are not pushing for a tipping option, and they are not pushing for the elimination of Uber pool. Those are the two biggest concerns drivers have, other than wage increases, right? Increasing the per mile wage. So if you're not pushing to increase drivers' wages, increase drivers' benefits, adding a tipping option, or eliminating Uber pool, like, you're legitimately going to try to tell me that you are looking out for the driver's best interests? Like, I'm not stupid. Most people are not stupid. Most people know that this group is just full of bullshit. They're a driver advisory group, and it's basically Uber trying to, you know, quell all this, like, these pitchforks and torches that are coming towards the castle right now. So first off, let's start with the ordinance. Now, the ordinance is far from perfect. There is a lot of ambiguity in the language, and when you're writing a law or making a public policy, ambiguity is the worst thing in the world, right? That's the one thing that kills any kind of successful law, because people don't know how to implement it, people don't know what to expect, and people don't really know what they're gonna have to vote for or against. One of the major problems, I think, with it is that there is language in the ordinance that says that the Teamsters will represent all TNC drivers. Now, people are interpreting this to mean that if they get this ordinance passed, that every single TNC driver in the entire city will have to be in a union. And that's not how this works. So first off, all this is saying is that Uber cannot get in the way if drivers vote to unionize. And that's important. So if this ordinance that was passed is not kicked out in the courts, and it doesn't look like it's going to be, and honestly it shouldn't be, then drivers can vote for a union. That's all the ordinance is governing. It is not mandating that there be a union. It is giving the option to the actual driver. Okay, so 50% or more of Uber employees need to vote to be unionized. So that doesn't mean it's automatic, okay? And also, I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean other TNC companies like Lyft and Motor, or if Juno wants to come over to the West Coast or whatever, have to have a union either, okay? My understanding of it is each individual company needs to have its drivers vote for a union. Now, some people are saying that that's not true, that if you get 50% at Uber, then all drivers in the entire city are unionized, which I don't think is a thing, because you need 50%. So how is it that you're going to track what 50% of the entire TNC population in the entire city of Seattle is? It's impossible. What they're going to do is each individual company is going to submit how many full-time employees there are, and then those employees have a pool and they need 50% of that. It's going to be more like a grocery store model. Okay, so Quality Food Centers is a really popular brand for here in the Northwest for groceries. Quality Food Centers employees are unionized, but that doesn't mean all grocery store employees are unionized, right? There's Safeway, there's Costco, there's Fred Meyer, who actually also isn't a union, but I'm just saying there's different competitors, Winco, that kind of thing. And each individual store has to have its employees decide to vote for the union. And I don't see how that's not going to be the way it works with TNC drivers, because otherwise it's an impossibility. If it's required that 50% or more of the drivers vote for a union, and you don't do it per company, how are you going to do that? Because I can start a TNC company tomorrow if I know how to create an app on a phone. I mean, I don't, but do you see what I'm saying? Aaron's TNC company could be in Seattle tomorrow. So if I have 10 employees, how is it that they're automatically in a union if they haven't voted yet? I know every state does taxis different, but here in Washington, you don't have to be in a union to be a taxi cab driver. You can be an independent contractor and just do taxis. You don't even have to do Uber for that. If you pay the fee and you go through the fingerprinting process, you can own your own car and be a taxi cab company of one. That's not how it is everywhere. Some places you do need to be in a union because the city contracts with just one company. That's not how it works here. So I don't know. Let me say this. I'm not an attorney, okay? And I'm not a judge that reviews these kinds of labor contracts and stuff like that. So there is a chance that I'm wrong and all these other people who are fear-mongering all over the place are right. And as soon as 50% of Uber drivers unionized, everyone in the city of Seattle has to have a union contract. I just don't think that's true. It doesn't make any sense at the city level. It doesn't make any sense at the union level, honestly. So the next player in all of this is the actual union company. They're called the Teamsters. And there's a lot of concern from drivers about the company because it's a union for taxi cab companies, which is the direct competition for TNC companies like Uber and Lyft. So there is some concern that they're going to be like a fake union for TNC drivers and really just try to keep as many of them off the road as possible, lowering the competition for taxi cab companies. There's also another concern that they don't drive for a TNC company, right? They are only in this world of taxi cabs, so they don't know what drivers want or how to represent drivers. And both of these concerns are legitimate, and I actually have them too. But the problem is, it's a temporary problem. If both of those things are true, those things change pretty quickly. But I'll save the analysis of all this stuff for later. Hey everyone, this is my son. I woke him up when I was doing videos. Say hi, Internet.
Hi, Internet.
Say like, comment, subscribe.
Slide.
Say put comments below.
Put comments below. Thumbs up in the comments.
Yeah, thumbs up in the comments. That's right.
What?